On the afternoon of September 22, a shipwreck occurred in the waters off Sihanoukville, Cambodia, carrying 41 Chinese citizens on board, 18 of whom had been rescued and properly resettled, and the remaining 23 who had fallen into the water and disappeared. After the accident, the Cambodian Ministry of National Defense, the Cambodian Police Service, the Westport Provincial Government, Vietnamese fishermen and civilian forces composed of Chinese in Cambodia responded one after another and went all out to search for and rescue survivors. The search range of about 50 kilometers, the search depth of more than 28 meters, the waters on the border between Cambodia and Vietnam, and the changing waves and water flow speed have brought difficulties to the marine search and rescue work. After the release of the statement calling for rescue, the Chinese in Cambodia responded positively, and the number of participants reached about 110. With the Cambodian Chinese Charity and Mutual Aid Association as the center, 2 teams were formed for surface rescue and underwater search and rescue, and the soldiers were divided into 2 roads to search for 23 missing people in different ways. What kind of crisis has this civil force encountered in the depths of the unpredictable ocean? How to carry out rescue? What are the chances of survival of a drowning person after missing the gold 72 hours? Search for fan-shaped seas with a radius of 50 kilometers above sea surface. The positioning is inaccurate, and those who fall into the water go with the flow. When the news came, everyone was caught off guard, especially the Cambodian Chinese Charity Mutual Aid Association. The association has been established for several years, and in these years, it has also participated in various actions to rescue Chinese in Cambodia. But 23 people are missing, the first time such a major rescue operation at sea has been made. On the evening of the 22nd, Chairman Zhang summoned Astro Boy International Diving Instructor, the Water Rescue Captain International Diving Instructor, of the Cambodian Chinese Charity Mutual Aid Association, and other members of the association to discuss the next day's rescue action. The ocean is too big, and we are not professional rescuers, but we still want to do our part to search within our reach. Zhang, president of the Cambodian Chinese Charity and Mutual Aid Association, said. On September 23, they issued a statement calling for Chinese in Cambodia to work together to help. Just 10 minutes after the announcement, 3 speedboats confirmed their participation, and all walks of life contributed their contributions. Led by the members of the Kolong Island Diving Planet Dive Club, there are speedboats and motorboats provided by Shanghai Travel Agency and Chaoshi Water Entertainment Club. Meals provided by Bodhi Cloud Hotel, supplies provided by RT Mart Westport, Jaelong Island 4K Great Wall International Travel Service Restaurant arranges dinner for all rescuers every day, Angels in White led by Tongji Hospital, logistics support personnel composed of the Cambodian Chinese Charity and Mutual Aid Association, etc. A total of nearly 20 enterprises and organizations provided support, and about 110 Chinese in Cambodia participated. Photo courtesy of interviewee. Because of the large number of people and the different supplies provided by various industries, resource allocation is also more difficult. However, because everyone did this voluntarily, under the control of Chairman Zhang, the first batch of civil rescue teams was quickly formed. After the emergency call, on the afternoon of the 23rd, the civil team immediately went to the wreck area for rescue. According to the data provided by the government, the location of the wreck is at N10 degrees 25 and an E103 degrees 15, E longitude, almost in the center of Cambodia's Dang and Salem Islands. It was the rainy season in Cambodia and the shipwreck was in place. At this time, it was the rainy season in Cambodia, and the sea where the shipwreck was located belonged to the Gulf of Thailand, and the entire Gulf of Thailand was covered by the Indian Ocean monsoon in the southwest, so it was basically dominated by southwest winds, that is, blowing from southwest to northeast. Fallers in this area are likely to drift with the waves to the nearby waters of Cambodia's Gold and Silver Bay and Vietnam's Phu Quoc Island. The rescue team set out from the location of the wreck and headed northeast, searching downstream in the direction of the wind. Rescue is divided into surface rescue and underwater search. Sea rescue is led by President Zhang of the association, responsible for searching for survivors and timely rescue. The underwater search is led by diving instructor Astro A, who is responsible for finding the last signs of life or searching for the remains of the victims. From the afternoon of the 23rd to the 27th, the rescue work will be carried out for 5 consecutive days. Depart at 9 o'clock in the morning and do not return until 7 or 8 p.m., because the visibility is low at night, the wind and waves are highly varied, and the danger is high, so the search can only be carried out during the day. The golden time for sea rescue is only 72 hours, and time is racing against the clock. Chairman Zhang arranged 2 speedboats for the submersible team, 3 speedboats for sea surface search, and the remaining 1 to be used as emergency rescue ships on the coast. At the same time, the president of Zhejiang Tongji Hospital also went to sea with him, waiting on the ship at all times, and if he found someone who fell into the water, he could immediately implement emergency measures. He is a member of the Cambodian Chinese Charity and Mutual Aid Association, and has participated in rescue operations with the team many times before that, and after learning the news this time, he also participated in the first time, and for several days, he went to sea with the rescuers. However, this sea rescue operation is much more difficult than before. Arranged by Chairman Zhang, each ship is equipped with about 10 people to depart from Jailong Island in Zhejiang and go to the wreck sea. Because of the change of wind direction and water flow, the floating position of the drowning person changes at any time, and the rescue team can only continuously expand the search area. There are many uncertain factors on the sea. The wind and waves are relatively large, sometimes more than a meter high, very dangerous. Moreover, the volunteers are not all professional rescue personnel. Lack of experience, coupled with insufficient equipment, invisibly increase the difficulty of rescue. Around the fan-shaped area from Cambodian Dang Island to Phu Quoc Island in Vietnam, rescue teams searched for a range of about 50 kilometers, but there was still no clue. As time passed, the hope of survival of those who fell into the water became slim. There are many debris floating in the sea, coolers, floating boards. These items over and over again hit the heart of the rescue team, seems to be silently telling the panic and pain of those who fall into the water. Photo courtesy of interviewee during the search, a blue bucket stands out. Some of the 9 people rescued by Vietnamese fishermen were rescued by the fishermen by floating for more than 20 nautical miles by this bucket and reached the vicinity of Phu Quoc Island in Vietnam. This blue bucket that was originally filled with fresh water on the boat became their life-saving bucket. Today, the bucket has gone with the flow and is once again seen by the civilian rescue team, but there is no one else on the bucket and there is no hope of life. Dive 28 meters below sea level. Lack of professional equipment, physical and mental dual consumption. The day after the surface search, the diving team also began the underwater search. The depth of the sea where the wreck is located is about 28 meters below sea level, and the diving computer table of Captain O shows that the depth of the wreck is about 28.8 meters. When the ship sinks, there is a lot of space inside the ship, and the surrounding water will quickly rush into the hull to squeeze out the air inside the ship, thus forming a whirlpool. When a vortex is formed, it is highly likely that the person who falls into the water around the vessel will also be sucked into it. People with poor water properties find it difficult to escape this shackles. But at the same time, there is also the possibility that part of the space in the cabin has not been completely submerged, and if there are survivors who happen to be here, it is very likely to survive. In order to find the true location of the wreck, Kocho and the team members continued to dive. There are a total of 8 divers, 2 team members are arranged to rescue at the surface of the sea, and the remaining 6 are arranged to search underwater. Photo courtesy of interviewee, a team of 6 people, each on 2 speedboats, in groups of 2 people. Every time you dive, you must walk with 2 people, which is the diving partner system, the international diving regulations. This kind of diving partner system brings a sense of security to divers. One day takes turns, some people need to dive twice, and some people dive once. As the depth of the dive increases, so does the visibility. Within 14 meters below sea level, visibility is about 5 meters, continue to dive to about 17 meters, the surrounding environment becomes brown, visibility is significantly reduced, and continue down, from 17 meters to 28 meters or so, the deeper the visibility, the lower the visibility, diving to the bottom, visibility is almost zero, you need to hit the flashlight to see clearly. Dark seabed, hidden eerie danger, each time to stay for half an hour or so, divers not only have to endure the darkness and water pressure, but also to deal with different depths of water speed and direction, in the complex water conditions, dragging 80 meters of search rope in the seabed circular search, quite tired. At a depth of 28 meters, equivalent to 10 stories above the ground, when the ship sinks, the vessel cannot descend completely vertically due to changes in water flow. This also means that the positioning of the shipwreck on the surface of the sea is not completely accurate. Moreover, compared with the government's professional search team, the rescue team of the civilian forces is relatively scarce in equipment. GPS positioning system, sonar detector are only one, the number is far from enough. If you can increase the number, or the use of military or Coast Guard equipment, the search effect can be more effective. In addition, the wind and waves on the sea are very large, even professional diving instructors have been beaten by the waves to vomit, the team members are seasick, unwell, but also bring difficulties to the search work. After 2 consecutive days of underwater searches, the next day the range was expanded by 1.5 kilometers, and the divers took turns diving, but they were never able to find the wreck. In addition to physical exhaustion, mental exhaustion, but also let many divers feel confused. In the second half of the search work, in fact, everyone knows in their hearts that the so-called glimmer of hope is almost impossible. Few people can survive so long in an underwater cabin after missing 72 hours of prime time. So Kocho is also unabashedly honest with the players, we are going to search for the body. It may be out of fear or sadness, and some team members cannot pick up such a fact as resistant to the search for the body. Kocho told them that we were helping the victims, finding the bodies, and taking them home, which was also a good deed. Corpses and souls remain in the waters of a strange country forever, so it is better to send them back to their homeland and return to their roots. In fact, Kocho is also very conflicted in his heart. He hoped to find the bodies of those who had fallen into the water and let them rest in peace, and at the same time, he hoped that the bodies would not be found, so that there was still a glimmer of hope. Photo courtesy of interviewee, when a victim drowns in the sea, he or she usually floats around 3 to 7 days. In the process of search and rescue, a rescue team from Cambodia found the floating body of the victim, because it needed to wait for the arrival of the salvage ship, so it temporarily hung a life buoy on the floating body as a marker. Some netizens mistakenly thought that the deceased was still drowning in the case of a life buoy, to which Kocho explained, "The sea wind and waves are relatively large, and it is necessary to mark it with a life buoy or other items." Quote, "In Cambodia, this non-governmental rescue force has also been working hard, although it has not been able to find the people who have fallen into the water, but it has also done its best to never give up until the last moment." On the afternoon of September 29, 8 bodies were found floating on the coast of Phu Quoc Island in Vietnam. Presumably, the 8 bodies were the victims of a shipwreck in the waters off Westport on September 22. According to the latest news, the Zhejiang provincial government said that all 41 Chinese victims who sank in the waters off Zhejiang on September 22 have been found, of which 24 3 deaths were found in Cambodia and 17 8 deaths in Vietnam.